How big was it? We didn't talk about it last night. But how big was it to get your pictures as deep as you did with how your bullpen was set up yesterday after the way they were used this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. On top of the no-hitter, I mean, that was, like you said, it got lost in the shuffle that Slade turned in 8 innings and gave us a chance to really reset out there. And then Zach picking up the ninth was huge. So yeah, we're in good place bullpen wise. Again, we're in the middle of 17 in a row, 24 in 24 days. So the bullpen's going to be running hot for the next few weeks.
You obviously don't get to make the schedule, and we're all looking at it in different ways now. Is it weird to you that you guys have so many games against the Central left, and these are the last 3 games the Royals have against anybody in AL Central? Is that weird to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, with the balanced schedule now, it's not going to look like it used to, right? When everybody played each other 17, 18 times, it made it a lot easier to have divisional games in September. But everyone plays the same teams, everyone plays the same schedule, so there's really no advantage when it comes to the schedule.
How's Arias doing?
He's all right. He's in a lot of pain, obviously. We got some testing done last night, so we're waiting to find out the results on that to determine next steps. But yeah, he was in a lot of pain swinging the bat. I think he slid into home on the double and kind of landed on the wrist, and that was what kind of exacerbated the pain.
Any word on Enright?
So, yeah, Nick's a pretty complicated case, obviously, with his, health. And so we're waiting to align with Dr. Meister's schedule to go get a second opinion right now. So kind of all of those factors are going in. So it might be a little while until we have an official update on Enright.
Said last night there's no momentum in baseball, even after a big win like that. What do you do to just keep moving forward with this long stretch that you guys do have?
Yeah, same thing we do every day. We show up ready to win and work, and I think the guys are feeling good about the way we're playing. So we'll come out ready to rock, and yeah, we're gonna get a good work day in first, and then be ready to go.
We've asked about David Fry, the player, all the time. And can you just help us in understanding why he's such a great teammate as well? Just everybody around him.
Yeah, I mean, from knowing you're never going to catch an inning and being fully involved in the advanced with Bo and Hedgie and adding value there, to knowing you're really only going to hit versus left-handed pitching and helping the lefties be ready to face righties, and constantly encouraging everyone around him when he's doing a full Tommy John rehab while playing. He's going through a lot right now, and he's still the same amazing person as he is, and it just speaks to the volume of the human being. David Fry is one of the best human beings I've ever known in my entire life, and he adds a ton of value to our clubhouse and to our team, whether he can DH only or play the field or whatever it is.
Were we in Arizona maybe, and the catcher was still getting dressed, and whoever was backing up that day was hitting in the cages. And I saw him run out there trying to warm up the pitcher. And I don't think he caught one, but it was just like a cool moment, how everybody reacted to seeing him just being willing to go out there and even do that.
Yeah, he actually got away with it in Tampa, and we all yelled at him. So, he just wants to help. It's not a selfish thing. It's not no. It's, hey, Bo's not catching today. He's doing something else, and go pick up Hedgie. And yeah, he got a pretty stern look from us, and JD didn't like it very much either. So we had to reprimand him a little bit.
With Williams kind of no-hit, near no-hitter, and last night, how big a role does the catcher play in that? I mean, it seemed like both pitchers started out, struggling a little bit to find their command.
Yeah, I mean, our catchers run the game. Our catchers are in charge. They're calling every pitch. They're giving targets. Their conversations in between innings. I mean, the catcher runs a game. It's, the pitchers have to make the pitches. Obviously, it's their doing, but a catcher can really help a pitcher get back on track, or give them a different sight line to throw a certain pitch that helps them land it in the zone. And our catchers are elite at that. Bo and Hedgie both are so good at knowing these guys' strengths and getting them back into the zone. And I think in any no-hitter or any game where a pitcher does well, a lot of the credit goes to the catcher. Obviously, majority of it to the pitcher for throwing the pitches, but the catcher always has a big piece in that.
What's the deepest a pitcher ever got when you were behind the plate?
I think Sonny Gray was perfect 7 2/3 on opening day 2015.
Sir, do you feel pressure mounting as that's going
I
on?
called the wrong pitch and gave up a hit for sure. So, I mean, you know what's going on, and you want to make sure that you're, on your A game when you're suggesting what you think is the best pitch to execute in that moment. So there is pressure when you're back there, because you want it just as bad for your guy as he wants it for himself, if not more. And you're fully invested with them.
What was the difference to you about Ken Till out in Boston compared to before he got set back down to Columbus?
Strikes. He was attacking the zone. His fastball, he was filling up the zone with his fastball and using the secondary pitches off of it. So with Joey, that's been the story of Joey. When Joey throws strikes and he's attacking the zone and he's pitching in good counts, he's really hard to hit. His secondary pitches perform really, really well. But you got to get into good counts in order to do that. And so Joey was filling up the strike zone in Boston and was able to have a really good outing.
What has stood out to you about Cameron, their starter? I know he came up mid-season, but he seems like he's fit right in their
Yeah,
rotation.
we saw him last time we were there. I mean, really good spin pitches, cutter, slider, curveball combo. The fastball's good, and he's got a changeup. I mean, he's got 5 really good pitches, but he can really spin the ball. So we got to get him up in the zone. If we chase underneath, we're going to be in trouble tonight.
What does it say about their pitching staff? They have all these injuries, but their ERA is still there. It doesn't seem like they've missed a beat.
No, I mean they have a ton of talent. They went out and got the Lugos and the Wakas and brought those guys in, and but also have used their system as well. And good trade there at the deadline to get a couple more arms. So they're always going to be good. And Brian Sweeney's a really good pitching coach. He learned from the best over here, and he's done a nice job getting them focused in. And Salvi's a really good catcher, and Luke Maley's pretty good too. I mean they've got a really good recipe to have good pitching for a long time.
With what's been the difference you've seen in Cade Smith? Lately, kind of consecutive saves, and then there's been like the game in Texas, the game in Boston, where it kind of happens to him fast. Where what's the difference in those games?
Yeah, I mean, those 3 games we're referencing, right? Arizona, Texas, and Boston. It happened quick. It's 1 pitch over the middle barrel, and 3 games tied in Arizona. And then Texas, 3 pitches in the zone, they hit them all. And then in Boston, 2 weak contacts, and then 2 barrels right after that. So Cade, a lot of it is command when he's stays out of the middle. But really, the difference in Tampa was his sweeper and split were on. He'd been struggling a little bit with the split up until we got to Tampa, and he really found the split, and when that's the equalizer. Because now he's got 2 ways to get you out.
We showed that in slow motion. It looks like a knuckleball almost. There's no spin on it.
Yeah, a good split comes out just like that. It's almost looks like a knuckleball and goes straight down. You're just killing the spin on your fastball is what a split is.
When you have back-end relievers that maybe struggle in those strikes at times, how do you navigate through that when you need them? Like Sobrowski's had a couple outings where he has. Just how do you go through that to keep it?
Yeah, it's getting work in. It's really for our bullpen. When you're a bullpen guy, it's just trust. You got to get your side work in when you can, but it's tough because you got to be available every day. But a lot of our guys get off the mound, they do some touch and feels, and a lot of times strike throwing is one cue. You just need one little external cue that gets you back online. And we've seen it with Eric. He's had 2 tough ones in the last week. Outside of that, he's been absolutely incredible for us.
Anything with memes? Any update?
He's still not feeling great, so we're hoping that he can feel better for his bullpen tomorrow is the goal.